for Cohn.
He does?
He's an official drummer.
That's awesome.
I love right when I come on the call, phone calls start coming in.
There you go.
All right, let me share this stuff. We'll get everything out here when we get started, folks. I'm going to interact as Nathan Clark today.
Do you interact as anything else on other days?
Do you have your phone with you?
I do not.
You should share it. Next time we'll share it on there. All right. Pull up my my account while that's coming in.
We should get Joe to do a couple tracks.
Yes. All right. Well, it looks like we got everybody on here. Everybody, good afternoon. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
We are live on Facebook. And today, we're doing a real estate show, but it's not about real estate. So I thought it would be pretty interesting if we could make a radio show. And we've been talking about it for a while, right? The podcast. So first of all, I got Dion Hunt. Dion Hunt is our culture coach. Welcome to the show, Dion.
Thank you.
Thanks
Good to be here.
Yeah. Some of you may remember we did a podcast, well, a video podcast, and I did it, what did we use, Zoom to do it?
Yeah.
Yep. So, Dion, this was the first show not about real estate that we made, so Dion wanted to fly up from Tennessee. Thank you for coming. And then we got my beautiful wife, Jamie.
Hello, hello.
How are you today?
Fantastic. I have great co-hosts.
Yes, yes. So we wanted to bring everybody in on the show here and talk about a real estate show, not about real estate, because we wanted to make a show and show everybody how we made the show and how we started out. So we were brainstorming, and the brainstorm came to, why don't we brainstorm live on Facebook and see what Facebook wants.
Right.
We're going to see what the public wants. So, that's really where we wanted to go. And I know you had some things you wanted to talk about. You had some things you wanted to talk about. And the census was that not everybody wants to hear about real estate all the time.
True.
And I agree. I think we talked about, I was saying like 18 years of doing real estate. I'm done talking about real estate.
So you mean when you're not doing real estate and people see you and they want to talk about real estate, you're like, yes, but guess what else I'm doing?
Right. I want to see what people have to say. So if you have any ideas what we can make this show about, while we're all talking here and you guys are seeing this created live, I figured we could all talk about it, and maybe people could put their suggestions of what they think the show should be about and see where it goes from there.
So what do you want to know about Nathan and Jamie that you don't know already? That would be a good question for the audience.
That could be scary. But I guess, we could have that. Obviously we could answer any questions that people have about real estate.
So you're not opposed to answering questions?
Yeah, I just don't know if we could do a whole hour show about real estate.
Right. Plus, it's more fun to talk about things that people want to hear about.
Right.
Not just rambling
Well,
on
that's
about
what I
we
meant.
think.
I mean, I'm saying, what do you want to know? Like, what kind of toothpaste do you use?
I don't use toothpaste.
What's your go-to?
Well, listen, we made some ideas that we had, right? Thank you, Dion, for sharing this.
Yes.
We have our first share of the show. The name of the show I put out there was a show not about real estate, a show inside a real estate company, not about real estate. So you guys are inside there. You guys are inside the show. But what were you saying before we even came on the mic? I said, save that idea. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, so I think probably you're such a visionary, Nathan, that you take it for granted. You come up with an idea and boom, you do it, right? I mean, he's probably always been that way.
Right.
And you're very supportive of his ideas, which is awesome. You make a great team. But I think you may take it, it's so comfortable and easy for you, you may take it for granted, especially during the new year. People have things that they want to achieve in life. They just don't necessarily know the process to get there. And just talking through this simple process, we sat in a room, you grabbed a whiteboard, you asked the question, what do I want this to be about? Why? And you start asking the basic questions of anything: who, when, why, how, and you write it out on a whiteboard. And you start zeroing in all these messy ideas, and you turn it into an action plan that gets results, and then you repeat it. And I think you do it so easy and so well that probably a lot of listeners have things they want to work on, and that's the process. You get around people that are like-minded or who believe in you. You start brainstorming, and the point is we want to get to clarity. We want to get to action, not just brainstorm.
Right.
You don't want to just talk about things just for the sake of talking.
Well, that happens a lot of times, right?
So that's why Nathan and all of us said, well, let's just go to the podcasting room and do this.
Right,
Let's just
exactly.
start.
I said it's going to be like Seinfeld.
So
of
here
real
we
estate.
are.
You know, it's like it's not about comedy, but it's comedy.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And I think, like we talked about, as we talk and about the subjects that we have on the whiteboard, which is a great idea, the subjects may come organically from our audience too.
well, that'd be great. Yeah, if you have any ideas what you want to make the show about, feel free to comment in there. But the whiteboard that we're all talking about, you guys can't see behind the cameras here, though, is we've kind of made an outline, and the side of the whiteboard that we have up here, besides the top 5 seller objections we get, is kind of like the outline of how we want to do the show. So what we have up there, if you can envision this, is schedule and consistency. We need to figure out what we want to do and how consistent we want to come up with the show for you guys to go over stuff. I think we have some interesting things we can talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Is first of all, how frequency. We came up with once a week. Does that sound good, Dion?
Yeah.
All right. Once a week. And
Minimally.
Minimally. I don't know if I can do 2. I don't know if we're that interesting. And duration, about an hour or less. Probably less. And be able to handle questions in the audience, but make it something that's fun, that we connect with everybody.
Right. Fun for us, fun for everybody else.
Right. And be able to, target the audience. And I think where this really started from was being able to show people behind the scenes about the real estate company, what we're about, how we do things.
Right.
And I've always had a passion for business and entrepreneurs. And so the idea has been, and I've done this before as my nose starts to run here. I've done this before of bringing other entrepreneurs on the show as an idea what we can do, bring other business owners on, because I think everybody has a story they can tell.
For sure.
Like we wrote down a couple things about me that many people don't know. And be able to kind of share those things and talk those things out, because everybody has a story. So maybe we could bring other business owners on.
Yeah.
And talk about their story.
Right.
And how they have that. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things, Deanne, what did we talk about last time you were on the show? We talk about our mission statement or our culture?
A little bit. Yeah, both.
Yep.
So Dion will be the first business owner that we bring on.
This
Right.
is the first show.
I'm the first
Congratulations.
entrepreneur. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes. We're doing a show. So, hey, Matt Wagner, how you doing today? Thanks for commenting. If you don't mind, share this. We'll get this out to more people. Be able to have more ideas. So how's 2021 treating you guys?
So far, so good.
Is it 2021 already?
It is.
Right.
It was like 5 days of, all right, maybe this is going to be a different year, better than 2020. And then the 6th day happened.
That's right.
And on the 6th day, they stormed the Capitol.
Crazy.
Yes. And then we're right back to where we were at 2020. But that seems to be a topic on a lot of people's minds, right? Is
Right.
COVID, and how's that going to affect the economy and things like that. And it looks pretty good. I mean, they're getting stricter. We talked about that today. You just flew in. How was the airplane?
Right. The flight was great, but as soon as I touched down, I mean, I was bombarded by National Guards everywhere and COVID testing and announcements in the airport, and I mean, it was intimidating for a second.
So you walked off the plane and
Boom.
the guy was
There they are.
AR-15s pointing at you? Or?
No, wasn't there yet. Hopefully, it doesn't get that extreme.
Because we had traveled earlier. We went to D.C. and there wasn't any of that.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We went to D.C., November?
Right.
So
Yeah.
we went to D.C. in November. Hey, Chris Berard, thanks for commenting in there. So we went in November. There was none of that.
Mm.
So what did they make you do when you got off the plane?
Well, they're just standing there, so it's basically social pressure. They're handing out papers. They have testing units behind. I mean, it's everywhere. There
Yeah.
was, as far as you could see, I mean, hundreds of people lined up in small pockets of groups,
Wow.
waiting and testing and waiting for the results. And so, yeah,
Were they 6 feet apart?
definitely not.
They were definitely not 6 feet apart. I went shopping this weekend. We went to Kohl's and got a couple of shirts, and you can't try them on. So I actually got a couple of pair of pants. I got the wrong size, and we didn't realize it till we got home, and I had to go all the way back, and I was like, man, this is such a pain. And then I realized that's Kohl's. They're loving it because I went
Right.
back and spent more money. If they just had, you go to the bathroom, you can use the restroom, you can't use the dressing room. So it's pretty funny out there. But it's definitely been a trying year, but I think it's going to get better. I know it's going to get better. Looks like they got the cure to be able to put everything back to normal in about 4 or 5 months, they've said. I don't know.
Hopefully. Or will it ever go back to what everybody thinks is normal? Probably not.
Yeah, new normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that. Things we're going to lose in business and not see again.
You had mentioned peanuts on the plane.
Yeah, so they're going to take away. We're going to lose a lot of things, like peanuts on a plane.
Right.
Like those little bags of peanuts. I saw the article. So they give you a bag of peanuts when you get on a plane. And obviously because of COVID, they said, no, we can't give peanuts on planes anymore. So they took that away. And they were talking about the businesses that's their job, from the farmer to the packager to the
Right.
distributor to the salesman. These guys are all hurting.
Ripple effect.
Right, because there's no peanuts
Right.
on a plane. And I doubt they're going to bring them back. They'll get rid of meals in first class, and they'll open it up to this.
That's all business, though, right? I mean, as entrepreneurs and business owners, you see the phases go through, whether it's your business or a product or service. There's that introductory phase where no one knows who you are, no one knows what you do, and you're just getting the word of mouth out and letting people know. And then at some point, if you have a good product or service, then there's going to be a growth span whenever things start taking off naturally. Then you hit that hyper warp, the maturity, and it's like you can't stop the momentum going. You're not even having to market yourself as much. I mean, it's coming to you. And then there's that scary part when it can only last so long. Any industry, any product, any service, right? And it's either going to decline or you reinvent yourself. So they may have to figure out a different way to use those peanuts. That's just an example. But for all of us, I mean, and that's not just business. That's a lot of things in our lives. And think about when people go through, quote, midlife crisis. They're kind of pushing ahead. They get in a routine. And then it's like you're either going to reinvent yourself and get on top of this crisis, or it's going to make you crash. So it's just the normal cyclical thing that happens in life and business, and different people are at different places. So if you're doing well, enjoy it. Know that something's coming. If you're feeling, like, man, this is a trying, challenging time, it's probably time to reinvent
Right.
and figure out what are we going to do now.
It's almost like cycles.
Yep.
You go through a certain cycle and it comes to its end. So you start a new one.
Yep.
Right?
100%.
And you can choose to do the cycle the same way, or you can choose to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to make some changes to this cycle coming up.
In
Yeah.
business, I've seen this cycle before. It reminds me a lot of 2007. But it's very different, though. So a lot of people ask me, like, you think the real estate market's going to crash in 2007, 2008? Really different times. I don't know. I think what's fueling a lot of real estate is that people they put their money in real estate because nowhere else to put it.
Right.
You can play with the stock market. So 2.3, 2.4, 2.5% interest rates. It's very low. It's kind of silly. You got to put the money somewhere, I guess. So that'd be interesting. It'd be a very interesting year.
Right.
What did we do in 2021? What did we get? We got some new puppies.
We did.
We can make a show about puppies.
Yep. Bertha and Chubbs
Everybody loves puppies.
and Bubba.
Talk about the
Hazel.
puppies, Jamie.
So we have 2 new puppies. They're both named Bertha and Hazel. Bertha is, she's like a cannonball. Actually, no, Bertha and Chubbs, sorry. And Chubbs is following Bubba's footsteps, I'd say. He's very calm. He kind of pays attention to everything that's going on, where Bertha's like a cannonball. She doesn't know what it is, but she's running in and she's going to get it. So it's been a challenge between the puppies and house training and then also homeschooling. But fortunately, today was Ben's first day back to in-school learning.
Yay.
So kind of getting back to a little bit of normalcy.
Yeah.
Juggling all the things.
You were happy with that. Hey, Rosa Marie, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being on the show here. Yes. So people that haven't been following the show that doesn't exist, it's not about real estate. We've had our COVID bout in the house here. We went through that.
Yeah,
That was entertaining. And then we had to deal with the COVID quarantine.
that's right.
The COVID quarantine of, like, I got sick for a day, 2 days. Then you took about, 5-6 days before you caught it.
Probably, yeah.
And then, so the rule is, and I'm sure someone will correct me, you have to wait like 10 days after you get sick. If you don't get sick, you have to quarantine for 10 days.
After your
Exposure.
negative test.
And then the next person has to wait 10 days from when their 10 days ended. And then Ben never got sick. So he had to quarantine 10 days after Jamie. So it was like a month we quarantined for. December. We lost December. And the worst part of it by far was the quarantine part.
Yeah.
You
Just not being able to get out and go do things. And, I mean, fortunately we have a pretty good amount of space, and we have space inside and outside, but it can really close in on you if you're there stuck every day.
And then so Jamie is very happy that Ben went back to school.
Well, I mean, I'm happy for him too, because he gets, he's an only child and he gets to see all of his friends. So he was excited about it.
For you guys who don't know Benjamin's my 7-year-old son. He's in 2nd grade.
Yes.
So he's a fun time. We'll have to have him on the show.
Oh yeah.
He'd enjoy it. He has his own YouTube show.
He does.
Yep.
It's
a Facebook show.
Live.
It's for grandma.
Minecraft hacks.
Yeah.
Yes, Minecraft.
I saw one of those. That's awesome.
Just smash that like button.
Smash that like button. All right, let's get back to what the show is supposed to be about.
Not about real estate.
It's not about real estate. It's about creating a show, not about real estate.
And this is
about interesting things that people want to hear about.
Yeah. And we're spit shooting right now?
Well, we'll come up with ideas. We got frequency down. Duration, we said definitely under 60 minutes. And then we said we need to figure out questions from the audience. So I'm asking the audience for questions, and we got about 14 people on right now. Great job, guys. Thank you for joining. But if you could pipe in things you'd like to see on the show, because we're running out of ideas here. We're going to have to make shows. This is just going to be an ongoing podcast of us trying to come up with a show. We've given up trying to come up with a show because I don't want to make another real estate show. I don't know who listens to real estate shows, but I'm sure like you're interested in learning about real estate. Like if you're saying I'm going to buy or sell real estate now, I'm going to sell my house. Oh, there's a real estate show on TV, or there's a real estate show on the radio or Facebook or YouTube, whatever. But listen, people buy and sell real estate on average every 6 years. So they're not going to want to hear all about real estate.
Right.
Initially, you're only really targeting 1% of the audience.
And it's really going to be people.
Or less.
You taught me about this. You're an articular activator.
Yeah.
When you're looking for real estate, you're paying attention to real estate around you, or versus when you're not looking to deal in real estate, you're not really paying attention.
Right.
Why would you want to hear about it?
Rosemarie wants to know how Hazel is behaving.
Hazel has been very good.
Yes, she actually's been.
Yes.
The hottest topic that we get, Dion, is about the 4 dogs.
Nice.
Yes.
Because they're awesome.
Entertaining.
Yes. So I'm going to put a quiz. Does anybody know? We have Hazel, we have Bertha, we have Chubbs. Does anybody know the other name of the dog that we have in our life?
How could you not? He's clearly the favorite.
Yes. Hazel is the best behaving dog, but she's a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
She's surrounded by 3 other old English bulldogs. And if anybody ever knows anything about old English bulldogs or English bulldogs, they're the least disciplined animal on the planet. They don't listen to anybody.
They beat to their
Very
own drum.
thick-headed. Thus the name Bull, bull-headed. Rosemarie got it. You're the winner. Ding, ding, ding.
You got a button over there. You can.
I'm going to try hitting. Nope.
Oh.
Not that one. That's a joke one. Ooh. That's if we have a prize.
There you go. We're familiarizing ourselves with our sound buttons.
That
so
sounds
we
like
can
Price is Right.
This is after I say a joke. Oh, we're having fun.
Where's the applause? There it is.
Yes. Yeah, the crowd went crazy. Matt Wagner, my friend Matt, asked, what are we doing to keep the team motivated? We've been playing around this testing personality test. We do DISC and stuff like that, Matt. But we have a lot of dreamers on the team, and that's really good. The collaborators and dreamers, they follow a dream. So I'm going to put this out there for the first time. Our mission this year is to serve 1,000 families. So we went over a little over 500 families last year. Our mission is to serve over 1,000 families, right? And that's a big jump. We're doubling. So how we keep people motivated? We got a lot of things that we introduced with training this year. to bring everybody up. Like, just so everybody knows, we did 500 plus transactions with like 13 agents, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But this show's not about real estate, so I'm not going to talk about real estate. But
Matt asked you a question.
Motivation.
He did, yes.
Motivation.
It's how are we keeping the team motivated? Well, Dion, you're here for that.
Yeah.
So you met with some of the team today.
Yes.
How's the motivation?
Very high. And I think one of the reason is because you're giving them an opportunity to benefit as the team grows. And I think from my outside perspective, I work with teams all across the country. Some give bonuses, some give teams from the heart of the house, your administrative team, some type of reward or incentive when the team does well. Because let's face it, if you come out and say, hey, we're going to double your workload and pay you the same,
Yeah.
that's not too motivating.
That's not very exciting, no.
But when you give them a buy-in, which you do here, then that's a game changer. And that's not just for real estate or this industry, and I think that's one major way. And the other one is that they know that you care about them. So when you have a leader who cares about you, you're just internally more motivated to come to work and be productive. I mean, who wakes up Monday morning and says, I hope I suck today? No one's doing that. They, genuinely want to. So it's more about removing the barriers, because people already are optimistic and they're already internally motivated. It's when they run in those walls that takes away their motivation. So I think that's one huge thing that you guys do. You really are serious about living out your mission to build quality lives. So
Yeah.
We talked about this, yeah. We talked about this Friday. Like, me and Jamie stepped back, and what were we talking about?
Remind me real quick, because we talk about a lot of things. So on Friday.
I think it was Friday. So we were talking about, as I'm replying to everybody's comments on here, we were talking about, like, wow, like we have about 45, 46 people on the team.
Right.
And we're like, wow, but it's coming together.
Right.
We got some great leaders on the team, but people, all the buy-in, like Bob D coming to me and being like, hey, how can we make a graphics department? Like, we want to have the best, right? How can we do it?
yeah.
And he just came to me with this idea. I'm going to put a team together. We're going to make it happen. I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, we were also talking about our leaders. So we have Rachel and Chris have stepped up, over this past year as leaders, and we're kind of looking back and saying, wow, it's not just us that is pushing forward in this dream anymore.
Right.
It's not just our dream. It's becoming larger than that.
Yeah.
And it's so exciting to see, and it's so exciting to be able to look back on and watch other people grow, right?
Yeah.
It's not
You
just
build a culture where they feel like they know they're a part of the dream.
right.
It's not just, oh, we're here to help the owners. I mean, we're doing this all together.
Right. There's someone else that has put in blood, sweat, and tears into the business, and they care and they believe in our dream as well. So
Yeah.
that's.
I mean, I could do a whole thing about just what our dream is. Like, we've gone from, and by the way, thank you guys. We've got 17 shares on the show here. We got 6 people in training right now, just joined our team. We got 6 new agents just joining our team now. And so I get juiced just like 9 o'clock in the morning, jump up, like, let's go get it.
Right.
Train these guys, casting our vision on how we're going to build a better life for them. And the first thing, you might have heard me talk about this because you were in the back of the room, we were talking about the oxygen masks.
Yeah.
Of how important it is to take care of yourself, because we go over our core values, right? Our
Right.
core values: building quality lives with our people,
Mhm.
building quality lives in the community and our clients.
Yep.
So the first comes up is the people,
Yep.
then comes the clients, then comes the community.
And then vendors.
No, excuse me. Then comes vendors, then comes community.
Right.
And you might think of that, and I talk about them. Why is it that way? Because, I heard in business the customer always comes first, which I agree to an extent. But let me ask you this. If you had a bunch of employees that are upset, not having a quality life, not making a rewarding income, those people got to take care of your customers.
It's only when you're a solo entrepreneur that you only focus on the customer or client. As soon as you add one team member, right?
Yeah.
Now your interests are divided. I have to focus on my team of 1 or 2 or 200 because they're the ones that are going to be helping serve the customer and client.
Right.
So if I only focus on the customer or client only, and I don't have a vision for my team, I'm going to lose them.
Right.
They're disengaged. They're unhappy. They're getting paid to look for another job, right? And that's corporate America. What,
Right.
60, 70% of Americans from Gallup polls are not satisfied and happy at their job. That's not the pulse I'm getting here, which is great. So, and I think whoever your friend is that asked the question, I think that's a great question, because it's figuring out, okay, where do I want to be? I want to be around a place that sees me, they appreciate me. I want to build a team that way. I mean, I don't know if he's a business owner or if he's working somewhere. I don't know, but that is what we want. And then it's attractive, right? People start telling other people, hey, you got to come work with me. You know, is there a job opening? And it's just, you guys have hit that warp that you're in that growth maturity phase now.
And that's happened.
Yeah.
We do have members on the team from other team members too, which is great.
Yes.
Because it kind of, you know, I mean, I think at some point everybody likes an attaboy, like you're doing a good job. And so that's a reflection to us saying, okay, great, we're creating something great here.
Right.
You know, people are telling other people about us.
Yes.
So let's keep doing the right thing.
How do you know if a client's happy? 3 R's, right? Reviews, repeat business, and referrals.
Okay.
Well, how do you know if a team member is happy? Reviews, retention, repeat, they come back, and then they refer people. It's the same formula.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean by reviews? Well, they review on Friday night when they go out with their friends and they're saying, hey, I love working here. And then they repeat, they come back on Monday, and then they tell their friend, hey, you should come work here. That's your measurement, just like with clients. It's the same internal measurement scale.
True.
Because they're either going home and saying, I hated work today, or, yeah, I mean, I'm tired, but I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you guys are doing that, so.
Yes, and, you know, I think doing this over and over again, year after year, I think one of the things I see different this year is a motivation, because everybody's bought in to make that happen. And you're like, wow, now we're cooking with gas. And I thought the same thing last year, and the year before that. But this year, I'm like, we're really cooking with gas, because people are coming to me with ideas of how we can grow this, you know, how we can do a better job.
Right.
Because everybody can also see how the system runs, right? When you can kind of talk to people and be like, you know, this is why we can give better customer service. Like, we have more people on the team for customer service than we do salespeople. We're the only real estate team that I know of in the country that has more team members, less sales agents than they do admin assistants.
Yeah.
And the reason we do that is so they can talk, they can give really good customer service. Like the agents, 13 agents, and I think we have 16 admin, right?
Yeah.
Selling last year, right? So we just added 6 more. They're in boot camp. They're in training.
Right.
Boot camp. It sounds bad. But we bring them through there so we can give really so much better service than, you know, so the agents could focus on not banging signs in the front lawn or trying to find the next deal. They can focus on working with the customer, in the heart of the house, as we call it, can work on
communicating.
Right.
Right.
And
That's the number one complaint in business is, you know, when you work with anybody, you know, what was wrong with that relationship? Well, they didn't tell me that, or they never told me about this. So it's communication. So the more communicating that we can have with our clients, the better we know what they want and how we can serve them.
Right.
Right.
So we talked, you guys talk, but we talked in the other room about ideas that you want to make shows about. What was your ideas?
We talked about
I'm going to turn the whiteboard so I can read the other side.
seasonality. We could talk about things that, how we can spotlight things for people during certain times of the year.
Like car racing.
What's the best beaches to go to? Someone did.
Yeah, what's the best gas? What tires should you be using?
I tell you the first time I ever went up to the racetrack. Jamie, you went to the racetrack last year.
Yeah, I've gone multiple times. I've even raced my truck and won.
Yes.
Against some, you know, formidable competitors.
Last time, so what we're talking about, we went up to Epping Dragway, New England Dragway up in Epping, New Hampshire, and doing some drag racing. So Jamie brought her F350 diesel. What's the number one comment you get, Jamie, when you drive your F350?
Oh, I wasn't expecting such a little thing to hop out of there. You drive that truck, or is that your husband's truck? That's my truck. Your truck. Yeah, it's my truck.
Big diesel.
That one right there. Yep, this one. And my last one even had my name on it.
Nice.
So what do they say when they see you driving that? They say you're just little? Is that what they're saying?
Well, a woman driving a big old truck like that. 2, that I'm small, I guess. And 3, they're amazed every day. And they ask me what I use it for. And I say, we go racing, and I have dogs. So you bought your vehicle for a dog? I said, yeah, of course. I know I'm always going to have them.
Right.
So we went up there the first time. How was your experience?
Mine?
Yes.
It was awesome. I love cars to begin with because I grew up. My father has always been a car enthusiast, and your friend over at with Bob, he hit it nail right in the head, saying it's a sickness. So I've definitely been bitten by that sickness at a very young age. So usually you have two people in a relationship. One is kind of the stable, and the other one is the dreamer, the one that goes out and get it. But with Nathan and I, with cars and stuff, he'll be like, "Well, what do you think about that?" And I say, "Well, I think you should buy it. Like, let's go do it."
Because I'm already looking at this other one.
So we
And I need you to
That's
get what you want so I can get what I want.
and it is an addiction. So my friend Bob Tefano, he owns D&B Performance there in Burrillville. So he's been into racing for a long time, and that's your plug, Bob. So we went actually this weekend. So we bought the Falcon. I still got to name that too. The Dirty Bird. Jamie won't let me name it that, but we got a sick paint job done.
Oh yeah.
And my friend Chris Nichols did that,
Mm-hmm.
and he does a great job. He's over in Johnston. We're not ready to display the car yet, but I've put some sneak peeks of the flames that he put on there. But anyways, we picked that up. We had to get the chassis certified. So in a race car, you got to make sure that if you hit a wall, you don't die. So we had to get the chassis certified to make sure it was good. We brought it. Bob brought his car. I brought mine. Mine failed. His passed. So that was a disappointment this weekend. So now I got to spend some more money to I got to put one more bar in to make sure that I don't die.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Point of racing is going.
Protecting quality lives.
Yes.
Exactly.
But I'm excited because we're going to bring the car here and do like a video on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We got to put the sponsors on it. Your Home Sold Guarantee is gonna sponsor it. We got a couple other sponsors. I'm gonna see if my mom will sponsor us. We put Lightning Ridge right on there.
Yeah.
Get my sister to sponsor us. Twirl Hair Studio. It'd be the Your Home Sold Guaranteed race car.
Nice.
So we're gonna put that. We'll do some pictures. We'll have to have a big thing with that. We talked about also with Hasbro today.
We did. Yep.
Getting the Hasbro, getting some new things to raise. If you guys don't know, we're on a mission to raise $100,000 for Hasbro's Children's Hospital, but it's been a little difficult last year
Mm-hmm. COVID did put a little hiccup in our plans.
because we do the golf tournament.
Right.
So we weren't able to do that this year, but we'll see what we can do coming up there for this year. So we're going to work on that. So some ideas. Let's go over. So we realized making the show, we could do some discussions about that. So if you guys don't know who we are, we're Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, the Nathan Clark team. We've been selling real estate for a little while here in Rhode Island. So who I am, I've come down and broke it down to a couple things. What do you think is the most interesting thing on the topic that we can talk about?
Where's the hot sauce?
Where's the
Yeah.
I don't see anything
Why?
about hot sauce.
What do you mean?
It's not on the list.
It's everywhere else though, Deanne. Like in his office, in the center
That's
of our
what I'm
table.
saying. Like that's something unique about you. that
Really?
You do. How many shots do you do a day?
It keeps the doctor away. Yeah, no, so we down in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, Pepper Palace
Pepper Palace. We
Mm.
talked about that last night too. They have a Pepper Palace
in Newport.
in Newport. We gotta check that out. Because actually you like the what's the name of the relish, whatever they have?
Oh, the Vidalia onion one.
No. What's the
Oh, the horseradish.
horseradish?
But it's like an extreme one, so I'm really not a fan of spicy stuff. But the extreme horseradish, you should
Mm.
check it out, Deanne, if you haven't already.
I haven't.
It's good, but it's intense.
Good
so,
kick.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like the most insane horseradish ever. Yeah.
I like horseradish.
Um,
I have a bad story about that. When I was a kid, my stepfather took my brother and I in the garage. He had his Corvette and one side, and he had a horseradish station on the other. And you talk about when you cut onions, how you cry. You cut up some roots. Oh, man.
roots.
Oh, some roots.
Yeah.
The
Say
horseradish.
that again.
Do you say roots?
Ruts.
Ruts? Roots.
Roots.
It's even worse.
Oh,
it's like
man.
onions.
It kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, make you
Never knew
bawl
that.
like a baby, yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff, though, yeah.
We did. What was the technique she taught us while we were down in?
Oh, when you're putting it on your tongue, you breathe in.
Yeah.
And then you can experience the flavor gets intensified.
I talked to Tanner this weekend because we're thinking about buying a cabin
Oh, nice.
down in Smoky Mountains. Anybody watching, if you haven't been to the Smoky Mountains, it's an
Oh,
awesome
go.
place.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Right.
It's like Disney.
But with awesome, beautiful, breathtaking mountains.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable.
I would
So-
never imagine it. Like when for years Tracy's been telling me to go down there, and I'm picturing cabins like like Deliverance, like Smoky Mountains, middle of Tennessee. It's gonna be
Banjos.
ding 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 ding. And then we showed up, and it was amazing. I was like, wow, look at this place.
Yeah, it was a mistake that like we really found it because we just went driving in the motorhome,
Right.
right? And then all of a sudden we're like, oh, we'll stay here, and we're like, do we want to keep going?
This
And-
is actually developed.
right.
Developed.
12 million visitors a year.
It's amazing.
Is it now? What's the facts of the Smoky Mountain? Is it the most visited place
Yeah, it's
in
the
America?
most visited national park in America. 12 million people come to
So
our area.
more than the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, anywhere.
Crazy.
Well, think about this. Geographical location, 60% of Americans can drive there in one day or less. So, especially with COVID, and this is, I mean, it was already growing, but now with everyone traveling restrictions and taking destinations where they can drive, I mean, it's exponentially taken off. So it's a great time to invest in the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah. I mean, so we're gonna do it, but he's been telling me for a while, and then we were like, because the numbers are really good. It's a good return on your investment.
Yeah. Plus, you have a place to stay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now can
So I pitched my parents on it. I was like, we got this place down in the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah.
What do you say?
can Tanner hold you accountable to that?
I'm gonna
now?
tag
A
Tanner right
verbal
now.
Agreement.
There you go.
For
Tanner, chime in here.
He's gonna say, "Well, I heard you say you were
Right.
doing it."
Yep.
Me and Tanner we've been scheduling a fight for a long time.
Oh, but then the toe happened, so that was what kind of postponed it.
I'm ready. The toe is healed. Tanner, the toe is healed. If you're watching this, so I guess on Facebook Live you can't tag people. Maybe if I hit @Tanner. Tanner, where are you? There you are.
You could also try texting him too, or calling him.
We'll see how quick he gets
You
on.
can
there.
really call him.
He's
out.
very quick on Facebook.
Is he? He can't be as fast as Chris Berard.
Tanner has no clue. I just learned how to tag people. Tanner has no clue he's part of our show now.
Right.
The show about nothing. All right, so back to the show. We can talk about crazy stories we do on the weekends. We can talk about just happenings in Rhode Island. But one of my things I've always wanted to do was bring business owners on and have them promote their business so we could talk about their business. And kind of like cross.
Businesses that we do business with that we love and the reasons why, and then bring them in.
Right.
If you find something good, share it, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of cool stories. I bet you people would like to meet other people. You know who I'd like to have on my show? You're never going to guess.
Who?
Rob Levine.
Rob Levine?
Yep. Rob Levine, if you're watching 37 minutes and 53 seconds into this, I'd love to have you on the show.
Tag him.
Yep.
Tag him, yeah.
I don't know if I'm friends with Rob Levine. So you don't know who Rob Levine is, but Rob Levine is the heavy hitter.
He's a lawyer.
Yeah, I'm trying to find him here. Yep, Rob Levine's here. Rob Levine, I'm gonna call you out right now. Please come on the show.
And then put the time that they're
Where they're at, yeah.
shouting out.
37 minutes.
You could play a little music spot there, and possibly him being our second
So
celebrity guest.
So Rob Levine is big time personal injury law. He's all over TV, and his kind of shtick is he has funny commercials, but thoughtful stuff to do. I've met him, nice guy. He gave me his time when I wanted to start doing billboards. I contacted him and I asked him about billboards, how they work out for you, and I called him and he said, "All right, let's do lunch." So we did lunch and we met, and he gave me a time. Well, that's pretty good because we could have a conversation.
And people know you now and I only know this because I was just referenced to, "Oh, you're married to the men on the billboard." And I said, "Oh, so look how far he's helped us."
Stephanie knows somebody that knows Rob. Maybe Stephanie, you could introduce us to it. But Stephanie, you should comment on the Facebook post. You're secretly commenting here,
right,
as you put up there. So
especially for your locals, who do your locals want to hear? Who do they know
right.
that would be interesting to bring on the show?
And I think that's what the idea of the show is going to be, is like people see people like Rob Levine or whoever out there, but it's being able to see behind the scenes of the business owner.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a pretty cool theme to have. But it's a lot of work in trying to get these people. So if you're watching the show right now and you know somebody that would like to come on,
or you are someone that would like to come on,
we could just get together. You're going to have to fly up every week.
Yeah.
Bring Tanner with you. And we'll have the show.
we'll have the fight.
And you can come on here and we can talk. And obviously we record all this stuff and we can share it with everybody. If you guys see this, you're watching the show, share it. We got 17 shares right now.
Oh, and like Ben says, smash that like button.
Smash that
That's
like
right.
button.
Right.
So you could share it and see where it goes, and we can see how many people watch this and get information on it. We could talk about stuff like there's some interesting things I guess I could talk about.
Oh, well, plus their feedback is going to be everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
We could do a topic: how I was a terrible student. I dropped out of college. Yep, we could talk about that. That'd be a pretty short story there. Oh, my number one question I get is, how'd you get into real estate? So we'll have to save that for a special show there. But, we can kind of do that. But I would love to talk about entrepreneurs and what their mission is, what their mission statement is. I get excited when I go to businesses and I see our mission statements or our core values.
Right.
If you've ever been up to New Hampshire, there's this place called the Common Man. And they've really blown up. We went to one of the first Common Man. I think it was in Lincoln, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
So
Years ago.
So we went up there years ago, but now they're inside all the rest stops, like the big on the highway rest stops, and you go there. But if you look on their wall, it's core values.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and every time I see that, I'm like, wow. I like to ask the employees if they know anything about the core values, and some of them do. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea there. So I'd really like to go with that. I'd really like to bring the entrepreneurs on.
Yeah.
Other entrepreneurs, other business owners, especially ones that are starting out. But even like the ones, the established ones like Rob Levine. Rob, I've said your name at least 10 times on the show here.
Well, things that they do that keeps them going in business, things that are successful, things that they've learned, right? We talked about things that I learned I didn't want to repeat, like from last year
Right.
to bring into this year.
Yes.
And I think every year as a business, you learn things, right? So what golden nuggets can they bring to it?
Right. And people watching this, right? A lot of people want to start their own business. It's like, what lessons you learned? Because I imagine if you went to college for business, is probably what they teach you in college. Then you hit the real world.
Right.
You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Maybe some college kids watching this. I mean, that's what we're doing right now in the other room as we speak here. They're meeting with our sales manager, Mike. And Mike is divulging his 17, 18 years of wisdom selling real estate to him and telling him things that, as I told them when they first started, all that stuff you learned at real estate school, you're never going to use.
Right.
Just throw it away.
Yeah.
Couple thoughts. One, everybody that works on your team that's out there, they're 1099 entrepreneurs. If you think about it, they're writing their own story within your company, but they are entrepreneurs,
Right.
and they think differently. And you probably can get some good interviews internally when you don't have a guest. You can just pull somebody because they have a story, And then the other thing, format-wise, another thing that could help is you can look history, find out what went well for them, how they get into what they're doing now, like why, like what's the story?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this now, right? What
Right.
problem did you want to solve and why you have passion about it? Present would be what's going well and what are your challenges that you're facing right now, and that could be personal life or in the job. And then future, what are your dreams? What do you see 3 years from now or 5 years? So just the history, present, future gives you a timeline for any person you're interviewing to give you something to pull off when you think you get stuck or something.
Yeah. Well, you do get stuck every now and then.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you talk about an hour with anything? You got to have people to talk with.
Yeah.
Right? What's your favorite around business, Jamie?
Ooh, are we talking about food? Is any business, every business?
Let's go with food.
So there's, the big companies. So I don't know if everybody knows me, they know that I love Dunkin' Donuts. But as far as like restaurants and stuff, like I love Dell's Lemonade. I think they're fantastic. I love Capriccio's. That's my favorite restaurant.
Did we
'cause-
bring, have you been to Capriccio's?
I can't remember.
I think you come
I
on
don't-
Mondays, so no. You've been up now 3 times?
He usually comes Monday, Tuesday. Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday.
Right.
Right.
Because we do our team meeting on Tuesday.
We went to that really good Italian restaurant. What's the area called?
Is it
The
Federal
old-
Hill?
Federal Hill, yeah.
We went to Camille's.
Camille's. that was
Camille's,
good.
that was great.
Yeah. Great.
I would say, Benny's. Benny's was my favorite.
Benny's was good. For
You
all
don't
the
realize how
things-
much you love something until it's gone.
Yeah.
Benny's left.
Or you never realize how many things you quote unquote need until you go to Benny's.
All right, guys, we've talked 45 minutes now. Have we answered the question of what the show is going to be about?
Not about real estate.
It's not about real estate. We're going to just talk about crazy stories. Maybe I'll just make it about crazy real estate stories that we've made, that we've seen. I could talk about a lot of, I don't know if I can say them in public, though, especially of crazy customers.
Maybe save that for the book.
We're going to rate a book.
Right.
Been saying that for a while. We talked about the race car. We talked about 2008. Surviving 2008. Number one team around for 11 years. Worked on a cruise ship. Worked at the Providence Journal. What was the craziest job you had, Jamie?
The craziest or the coolest?
Craziest. It might be the coolest, too. Usually that's how it goes.
Well, the coolest job was when I was an apprentice for Neil Drobnis glassblowing. That was definitely the coolest. And it was kind of crazy, too. It was unexpected, It was intense with heat. But also, being in real estate is pretty crazy. I've seen some pretty crazy things, and I'm still continuously amazed as time goes on. I still haven't seen it all, I guess you could say.
Yeah, now did you grow up in Florida?
No, I grew up in Pennsylvania.
So Pennsylvania, what part of
Yes.
Pennsylvania?
Johnstown, Western PA,
West.
outside of Pittsburgh.
Okay, yeah, so that is west. So
Yeah.
you're near West Virginia.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty south, yeah.
I love West Virginia. Pretty state.
Yes.
What was the craziest job you ever had there in Western PA? A lot of farms out there.
There are.
It's all farms.
I was a caddy at Laurel Springs, Arnie Palmer's golf resort, so that was
Really?
pretty interesting.
You play golf?
No, I don't.
You're just a
golf.
caddy.
I was a caddy. I know how to play golf.
Yeah. I don't know.
No,
how
I
to
know
do
how to tell somebody what to do, but I can't do it.
There you go.
it. You want to use a 9-wood.
That's right. I can read the green.
Yeah.
But that was fun, and that's when we used to carry double bags. I mean, they weren't riding; you were walking.
So you were yoked?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was. These businessmen, but it was cool. You get to hear them talking about business, and 15, 16 years old, and just being in the main area while we were waiting, playing cards and having fun, listening to music, and that was pretty cool.
All I can think about is Caddyshack while you were talking the whole time.
Oh yeah.
My guidance counselor told me for 4 years of high school, all I remember talking to him is two things. His name was mentioned in the book, and the second thing was that I should do golf because 80% of business is completed on the golf course.
Mm.
And I never did golf. We do a golf tournament,
Yep.
but is that true? 80% of business, you think, is done?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true either. I never took him up on it, but that's all I got out of 4 years of
Didn't
guidance
affect
counsel.
you.
4 years of guidance counsel. I told him I wanted to be a firefighter, and he told me I was crazy. I needed to do business, and I need to take up golf. So I did get something from
And
him.
then others say that you should be in politics.
Politics. I don't get that very often. I've got it a couple times.
You
But
still
we're
have
not going
time.
politics or religion.
You still have
That's right.
time.
Yes. Yeah. KFC. I worked at KFC. That was a good job. That
When
was.
Sarah thought the bow tie was the hands and legs.
Yes.
I can never unsee that now.
I can't describe that story though without throwing up the graphic of the Colonel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The colonel with
Yes,
the little.
with the bow tie. My
Right.
sister thought Sarah. I'll tag her in it as I'm talking now. But Sarah, yes, I'm putting that out live on Facebook. She thought, how the bow tie, they have a little southern.
Yeah.
You guys wear that down south?
No.
No. Are you guys KFC fans down there? Because you're near
Yeah,
Kentucky.
we have it. Yeah.
But is it good or is it better?
Well, I'm a Chick-fil-A guy.
Chick-fil-A is
Chick-fil-A
the
is good.
best. I agree. Chick-fil-A is the best. But KFC does have its spot.
They do.
As far as company's concerned,
Right.
Chick-fil-A is the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Culture.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like the king of culture.
Right.
And they put pickles on it, which I think is a great idea. But anyways, yeah, so you know how you have the bow tie? My sister worked there with me. She got me the job. My cousin worked there. Erica, she got me the job. But everybody worked there, so it was a cool spot to work. But anyways, the bow tie, with the black.
Yeah.
She thought the black was the legs. And the arm was the top of the bow tie, and
That's
it was just
awesome.
a really big head.
Like I said, I
The
can't unsee
bobblehead.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
Before they were.
She
maybe
was an
somebody
honor
saw
student.
that, and that's how it got invented.
Yeah.
Sarah was an honor student. So,
That's awesome.
oh, I'll tag you in it right now, Sarah. I'll get a phone call later tonight. There she is.
I just read a book by Truett Cathy, and it shared some nuggets of wisdom, how he built his business, what made Chick-fil-A take off, and it was really good. It was short. I don't like to read too much, so
No.
it was good.
I'm going to get the bullet points.
I'm glad that you said
Exactly.
that because I don't like to read that much either. Like I force myself to do it every morning. But I've been playing around with meditating.
Hmm.
I got this app. I forget the name of it. I think it's called Headspace. Somebody mentioned to me, yep, Headspace.
Okay.
And
Benjamin? Was it Benjamin?
no, we were at home and we used the remote to search something, meditation. 'Cause I was like, I want to get into meditation. I just heard so many people say, you got to meditate, it's good. And so I did it. Netflix actually had something about Headspace, an app that was recommended. I said, I'll just get the app.
Oh, that's the one that you meditated so well that you went into a sleep.
Yes, that is the problem. Well, I wake up. The other thing I did this year was get up early, right? So I get up at 4 in the morning, and the first thing I do is meditate and do my daily readings. And the problem is you wake up and you can choose on the app, like you want to do 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, half hour. I start off 3 minutes or 5 minutes. If I'm in a rush, I'll do 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Because even at 4 in the morning, you'll get into a rush.
Right.
Especially if you sleep in. So I did 5 minutes this morning, but sometimes you'll find yourself really falling asleep because it's quiet. But it's all about trying to focus on not your thoughts, right? But it does help me with reading because that's what happens to me reading. So I like to meditate before, then read because it helps, if you're like me, when you read, like you have all these other ideas in your head and you start chasing them, like traffic going by.
Yeah.
Right. You should just watch the traffic go by. Don't focus on one truck or car and start chasing after them. So kind of your thoughts are the same way.
Yeah.
Is when I read, a lot of times I'll be reading, and get into a page, and also the next page, I'll read the whole page with one part of my mind, the other mind's thinking about something totally different. So I found that the meditation, because that's what they teach you, is focus on the breathing. Focus on your breathing, right? So I focus on my breathing.
Well, and maybe this is a far reference, but that's why I love to go riding, like in our side-by-sides. If you know us, Nathan and I love adrenaline. We're adrenaline junkies, but you just ride so like fast and hard that all you can think about is just what's right in front of you, and there is no room for anything else.
Right.
And so after like
forced to capture your attention on that one thing.
and there's nothing else in the world that can creep in. Like you were saying, Nate, when you read, I do the same thing. All of a sudden I'm thinking about something else, but I'm 2 pages later and I'm like, I can go back and reread that.
Right.
So if you can find something that can make it so you just focus on that one thing after I'm done writing, I'm like, I feel like, oh wow, I feel better.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what that's been helping me, and I recommend it to other people as you start up. But I like getting up early. What time do you get up?
I get up about 7 o'clock. I used to get up earlier because I had to take my kids to school, but now I get to sleep in a little later, and
Right.
I love it.
You're saying your daughter has her license now and she takes herself.
She's driving. She's 16. She's got a boyfriend. She's got a job.
Oh my God.
She's taking college classes. She's an honor. I mean,
Wow.
I lost my daughter.
She's
She's
16
gone.
now? She was just getting her driver's license when we were
In the
down
summer,
there.
yeah.
Yes.
I hardly ever see her. She's active.
And what time so 16? They're gone.
Yeah.
So how many more
Tennessee.
years we got left of Ben?
Ben 7.
But boys, I think, are going a little earlier.
Yeah.
Because they'll find somebody with a
They're gonna
car.
find a bike.
We live in Gloucester, so they really can't go anywhere.
Right. They're going to find something to do, hang out.
We decided we're going to make him an entrepreneur. So we're going to make the lemonade stand at Mom's store.
Oh yeah, he
Ridge.
told me all about it. He's gonna have Uncle Chucky help him build it.
Nice.
Right?
He always says Uncle Chuck's had to build it. I built the tree house.
It was you guys both collaborated on it. You did the base.
I thought you were going to say he's going to become an agent because I just saw he graduated from your
He
training.
did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did actually graduate.
He learned about contracts when he was like 2.5.
Yep.
I have
Nice.
videos of him. Yeah,
He's going to negotiate the lemonade.
everything.
How much
is
you pay. There will
yeah.
be no price. It was
Well, you know who's going to buy all the lemonade, right?
He's mastered his negotiation skills. Just
Meme will buy all the lemonade. The lemonade will be going no matter what.
That's awesome.
we got to work on our mix. He said,
Mix. Have
Yeah.
you guys made any?
not yet.
You know what we're making right now with him? We're making rock tumbler.
Hmm.
Rock tumblers have come back. In the 60s, they were really big.
I don't
read
even
the
know
history
what that
of-
is. What is it?
A rock tumbler?
Yeah.
So I don't know. They're pretty inexpensive. They're not killer, but you buy rocks, just regular rocks, and it's a tube, right? You put the rocks in the tube, and then you add water and this powder. And basically, the powder is grit.
There's
Okay.
So there's like
different steps.
4 steps. There's
Okay.
a really rough grit, then it gets finer and finer, and then there's a polisher. And you put it in there for like 7 days. It tumbles. Then you got to take it out, rinse the rocks. Don't put them down your sink. Add the next packet. Do it for another 4 to 7 days. Take that out. And so what it do is makes it smoother. So basically, what would take thousands of years for the ocean to do to a rock,
Wow.
you're doing it in like a month.
That's cool.
And you
Yeah.
add the chemicals. I don't know if there's any chemicals.
I don't know. I didn't look at the ingredients of the contents of the package, but I know that Ben's always loved rocks ever since he was little. So I saw that online and I got it.
Right. So then then you do that. It's been I think we got 3 or 4 more days. We just did. I can always tell when he opens up because there's just mud everywhere. 'Cause it makes this like really fine silt. And it goes everywhere.
And my strainer is gone.
Right. And the strainer's going. He takes that. He's at the age where things disappear. He finds funny things, Jamie. And he takes them.
does.
He finds them in your drawer and takes them, and then you find them in special places.
Right.
So I got to start
Just
locking the garage. So, so that's what we did this weekend. So those are the fun things that we do on the weekend, and we're looking for ideas, things to do because we're going absolutely crazy, like everybody else.
Yeah, like what's out there? What can we do? What's open? I remember we learned that the movie theaters were open for some time, and I don't think anybody knew. And because we interviewed someone that used to work at the movie theater, and just think about that, how far that's gone. When will movies open back up? Is that something?
I think you're gonna see movie theaters going.
All right.
I think you're gonna see that the direct to consumer, back to the peanuts.
Yep.
Things have changed. Why
Have
make
to
them
repurpose it?
right? Why go to the theater when
What about arcades?
$20 I can buy it? Dude, every
Right.
time we go to the movie theater, how much do you spend?
Well, between popcorn, drinks, candy.
4 people in your house?
Yeah.
3 people in ours? You're not getting out of there without spending $60.
Right.
You know, Dion, do you bring in candy? Do you smuggle in candy?
I do not. I'm a rule follower.
We may or may not smuggle in candy. But yeah, either way, I wouldn't want to be in that side of things. All right, guys. So we did it. Our goal was 56. Our goal was 60 minutes,
Nice.
and it's been 56 minutes and 51 seconds of talking about nothing.
Hey, how are you going to close the show?
I figured. What did you think, Jane?
I think that was the first thing that we came up with was how you're going to close it out.
Smash the like button.
Yeah.
Share
Boom.
this with your friends. Did you just say boom?
Boom.
Boom.
Good job. I'm gonna have to write little stickers on this. What these all do.
Right.
But I can turn it up and down. It's pretty cool.
So it had something to do with children.
Oh yes. So Hasbro's Children's Hospital. If you guys haven't heard already, we're on a mission to raise $100,000. It's something that's very close to Jamie and I. That's a show topic right there, Hasbro.
Yep,
Yeah.
put a pin in that.
Why that's important. So we're gonna have to keep this whiteboard in here. I'm pointing at like the viewers can see this, but of just about why Hasbro's so close to us, why we want to raise this money for them. But just so you know, every time someone that's looking to make a move, part of our mission statement is giving back to the community, building quality lives in the community. And one of the things that's closest to our heart is Hasbro. So every time we get a referral, we give a portion of our income to Hasbro's Children's Hospital to build quality lives in the community. So if you know of anybody that's planning on making a move, could use our help, please refer them to us. You can always email me, nathan@nathanclarkteam.com, 232-7661. We'll help those people out, and we'll help out Hasbro in your name. We put a donation in there. And that's going to be pretty cool. That's something we got coming up in spring.
Yes.
The naming of the
Healing Garden.
The Healing Gardens. They're going to name it after our team.
Yep, they're going to present a plaque to us.
Did you know that, Dion?
Mm-mm.
Right.
That's awesome.
So we've been working with Hasbro's Children's Hospital. Jamie and I sit on the governing board, the governor's board, not the governing board, the governor's board for Hasbro, and so we enjoy that, and we've been able to raise money. And as a thank you, they're naming the Healing Garden after us, which is our favorite spot.
That's great.
So it was either that or one of the rooms they had there, but we chose the outside one.
And what we liked about the Healing Garden was it was something that the kids and children can go to have that sense of normalcy. Not even just the kids, but the parents as well. Now that we have our son Benjamin, I could not imagine, the stress and just the mental weight that it would put on you to have a child in the hospital. So the
Right.
fact that they have that spot to go to, and it's the Healing Garden, it's outside, is something that's really great. And they did a phenomenal job with redoing it.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So we're going to have to do one live there. We'll bring the cameras there.
Yep.
So if you guys know of anybody back there saying that we can help, we'd love to give them a phenomenal service and help build quality lives by doing that, and we give back to Hasbro with that. If you have any ideas for next week's show, because I guess now we're committed.
We are.
We've gone on 59 minutes and 42 seconds.
public
Did it.
accountability.
Good job.
Please put it in the comments below. I'll answer your questions as long as they're reasonable. and we'll get it on there, and we'll be able to talk about it. Or if you have an idea what we can make the show about, we're still looking to find out what we're going to make the show about.
Or Deanne said what they want to know about us.
We hit 1 hour, guys.
Yes.
We just broke the 1 hour mark. I don't know. It looks like we got 4 people, but I've been seeing around 4 or 5. Somebody might have watched this the whole entire time. If you've watched this the whole entire time, I want you to comment below, and I have a special prize for you because you watched the inauguration of this show. Would that be it? The inauguration? The birth? No, for a whole hour. I mean, we talked about nonsense for an hour. So I'd really want to know who you are to know what you're doing. Because right now you're a demographic of the whole show. And so we're just going to kind of duplicate it after you of who's doing that. But, Deanne, is there anything else that you think we should add? Or
No, sounds great.
All right. Jamie?
Let's go with what we have so far.
All right. So with that said, guys, let's go serve big, and we'll see you next week. And what time did we start this at? It's 3:51 right now. So we started this at 2:50 on a Wednesday. Today Wednesday?
It's Monday.
It is Monday.
I know I don't know what day it is anymore.
Today is the day Ben went back to school.
Yes.
So with that said, guys, let's go serve big, and I hope everybody has a fantastic day. And like I said, if you guys have any questions or anything we can add to the show, make sure you share it here. We'll answer your questions next week. Also, share this. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out our YouTube page, Nathan Clark Team, and our website, nathanclarkteam.com. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody.